at Turkey. They even fired a missile at the United Kingdom, one of its bases in Cyprus. Now, I give you this background so you will know why the president did what he did. Everything I just told you, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom knew. He had the same intelligence we had. When it came time for us to intervene, he said, you cannot use any United Kingdom Air Force bases or military bases. None. Zero. Nada. He specifically said you can't use Diego Garcia, the joint U.S. United Kingdom military base in the Indian Ocean that Keir Starmer is trying to give away to Mauritius. You've heard me talk about it on the Senate floor. And Mauritius, of course, will welcome the Chinese. Now, once the war started going the way of people who believe in freedom, Prime Minister Starmer changed his mind. Now he says you can use our bases. Thank you very much, it's a little late. We don't need you. He also is trying to give President Trump advice about how to conduct the war. That's a little bit like seeking the advice of a nun about sex. Sir Keir Starmer is the last person you would want to go to advise you about how to have a military confrontation. He's the kind of guy that he'll want to quote, if you're in the middle of a bar fight, he'll want to stop and quote Socrates. That's what this is, a bar fight. And so I decided after watching this circus without a tent, this goat rodeo that the Prime Minister has thrust upon the world. I said, let me take a look at what the Prime Minister's plans are in terms of defense. Because if you remember, about a year ago, January, the Prime Minister produced this report. That's all it was a report, but he called it a Root and Branch Strategic Defense Review. And its purpose was to settle the United Kingdom's military path for years to come. It was ready not this past January, but January before. He didn't produce it until this past summer. And the Prime Minister makes a big deal in his report. He says, we've changed our ways. We've been born again. We're now going to spend 2.6% of our GDP on defense by 2027. And I'm thinking, good for you. It's about time. And he said this is going to be in line with all of our NATO allies, 2.6% of our GDP on defense by 2027. And he said, and by God, by 2035, we're going to be spending 3.5%. I'm thinking, man, that's great. And then I read the report. The cash is backloaded. He didn't bother to tell the people of the United Kingdom or NATO or the president. The cash is backloaded. He's not going to even start spending the money, the real money, until the 2030s. That's 4 years from now. He's going to make it somebody else's problem. I can assure you the Prime Minister will not be the Prime Minister in 2030 and beyond. Talk about sleight of hand. And if you run the numbers, there is a great deal of inflation in defense production. because so many countries now are starting to actually spend more money on defense, not promising to do so by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So you have to factor in inflation. And under the Prime Minister's plan to not even start spending the real money until 2030, the defense inflation is going to eat away at the amount of money that he has promised to spend. And if you factor in reasonable defense production, the numbers come out to him actually spending 24 billion pounds, $32 billion less than he promised. You think he couldn't figure that out? His numbers guys knew all about it. This is nothing but sleight of hand. In fact, one commentator in the United Kingdom has said it's worse. According to his computations, there's going to be a $28 billion gap over 4 years. Over 4 years.
Moments like this highlight an ongoing debate in American politics: the balance between public health guidance and personal freedom. How much should government inform, and how much should individuals decide for themselves? Because beneath the discussion about coffee, the larger conversation is really about the role government should play in everyday life. This is Capital Deep Dive.